Welcome to Family Life Issues with Kali. Our topic for discourse today is polygamy. Please like my video, subscribe to my channel, and comment if you have any questions. We'll start by giving a definition. Our definition for polygamy is the practice whereby a man gets married to two or more women simultaneously. You'll be asking what could be the reason for it, but that's topic for another day. Today, we'll be talking about the practice and how the law looks at it in Nigeria. First, is it an acceptable practice? Yes, polygamy is an acceptable practice under the Nigerian laws. In one of our previous issues, we had talked about the various types of acceptable marriage in Nigeria, and that is marriage under the customs, marriage under Sharia, and marriage under the statute. Now, polygamy is acceptable under the marriage, in the marriage under the customs. Look around in all of the customs from the east, west, and the south, polygamy is accepted. A man can marry two or more women simultaneously. Under Sharia, a man can also marry from two to four wives simultaneously. Now, the difference between Sharia and the customs in the south is that under Sharia, the marriages of a man to multiple women is restricted to four wives, while in the south, the man can marry as many as his heart desires. That is why you hear that men in the south can marry up to 30 wives. Nobody stops them. There is no regulation. And then in these two marriages, the law adjudged them as polygamous marriages. That is, if a man has taken you as his wife under Sharia or under the customs in the south, madam, that man is entitled. The law permits him to marry several other wives. You cannot stop him. So the next time you see your husband that has married you only under the customs, please let your legs not be too sharp to go and fight or to jump into social media and start complaining, oh, my husband is cheating on me, he's cheating on me. The law allows them. Now, the third marriage we are going to talk about is the marriage under the act, and that is the church wedding, or the one that we usually call court marriage. This marriage is adjudged as a monogamous marriage, that is one man, one wife. And so when you hear that the man is tying the knot, he is actually tying himself to that one woman. But sometimes you see that this man that has been married in a monogamous ceremony will go ahead to take another wife. He will go and pay a bride price for another woman. Is that proper? Is that acceptable? No, it is not acceptable. A monogamous marriage is a one man, one wife type of marriage. And so, Section 35 of the Marital Act prohibits a man who is married under the Act from taking another wife, whether be it in another court marriage or in a traditional marriage. The Section 35 Marital Act says that that marriage is void. It is null and void, and in the eyes of the law, it did not happen. But this can only be when the woman, the wife, proceeds to court. That is, the first wife proceeds to court. Another law that regulates this area is Section 370 of the Criminal Code Act, which provides that a man or a woman in a subsisting marriage under the Act cannot proceed to acquire another wife or husband, as doing so can earn you up to 7 years imprisonment. However, there is an exception to this provision, and that is the presumption of death of a spouse. By this, it means that if you cannot locate your husband or your wife, you have to wait for 7 years. It is only after 7 years that the law can agree that you waited sufficiently, and then that person can be presumed to have been dead. And that is the reason why you proceed to marry another wife. Now you begin to ask, in all of this, every day we hear that the men are on the road. The men are on the road. They are getting married under the act, and they are going ahead to pay bride prices for their side chicks. Why? Is it that the women are not exercising their rights? In my opinion, I would say the women are exercising their rights. In the event that your husband, whom you were married to in a monogamous ceremony, looks outside and goes to do one of those things, maybe marry another wife, pays a bride price for another woman, and you have decided that you cannot take it, I can assure you that even if you went to your parents to cry that, oh, mommy, look at, daddy, look at what this man has done, I want to sue him, they will not support you. They will not support you to sue their son in law. Even your religious leader will not support you to do that. What about good conscience? Would your conscience allow you? Would your children allow you? You see the reason why many women are sitting down and they cannot do, they cannot take a decisive action on such an issue. It is worthy of note, however, that such a marriage cannot stand, because you cannot place something on nothing. Where a man has been married in a monogamous marriage and goes ahead to pay a bride price of another woman, if the court has to determine the status of that marriage, it will be held to be null and void, and it never happened. At this point, it will just be proper to inform my viewer that a subsequent marriage contracted after a monogamous marriage stands null and void if the court would have to decide on it. But if there has been any child or children from such a marriage, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Section 42, Sub 2, says that that child is a child of the man. That is on one condition: the mother exercises the right she has at law to sue the man for paternity of her child. Section 63, sub 1A says so. That man will be compelled to determine the paternity of the child. So, my sisters, that is the position. You see that side chick? If she bears your husband a child, the law says she can compel that man to take a paternity test if she goes to court and gets the court order. So, whereas the marriage cannot be valid if it is monogamous, it is, the child is a legal child, and polygamy is acceptable under the Sharia and the marriage under the customs. Thank you for staying with me on this episode. We'll have to look at the advantage and disadvantage of polygamy in our next episode. I know polygamy is a topic that our sisters do not want to hear about, but there may be something good in it. So listen to that in our next episode. Thank you. Please like my video, Subscribe to my channel and comment if you have any questions. I'll get back to you. Thank you.